Welcome back. You're watching Sky News, and a reminder of our breaking news this afternoon that two people have now died. That's following the Notting Hill Carnival last weekend. Let's start with the sad news that young mother, 32-year-old Cher Maximen, was stabbed while at Notting Hill Carnival last Sunday. She was with her young child at the time. Police and onlookers tried to help her. It is understood from police that she was actually caught up in an altercation between two groups. As a result of that, a 20-year-old man was arrested on Tuesday morning. He was named as Shaquille Tibu. He was charged with attempted murder and appeared at Westminster Magistrates Court on Wednesday morning. He was remanded in custody at the time to appear at the Old Bailey on the 25th of September, so in about 3 weeks. But, of course, the police now say in light of Cher's death, the offence will be reviewed in conjunction with the Crown Prosecution Service. Similarly, the offence will now be reviewed in the death of Mussie Imnetu, a 41-year-old man. You can see him on your screens now, visiting the UK from Dubai. He was found unconscious with a head injury close to the area of where the Notting Hill Carnival took place. That was late at night on Monday evening, the bank holiday Monday. Our correspondent Ashna Harinag is in Notting Hill for us this afternoon. And Ashna, sad news on the deaths of two young people, but also a considerable change now in the investigation.
There is a considerable change in this investigation now that we know that two people had lost their lives. 3 people were stabbed and left in a critical condition over the weekend. In total, 8 people were stabbed at Notting Hill Carnival this year. It is a remarkable, I suppose, surge in violence, and it seems tragic to even be talking about that, given that it is meant to be this celebration and is this celebration of culture. About 1 million people were down here in West London over the weekend, and yet we have heard from the Metropolitan Police, and we've heard today that among those 3 people that were left in critical condition over the course of this week, they have been receiving all of the best medical treatment that has been available to them, being cared for, as we understand it, in hospitals in West London. But tragically, as we have learned, the deaths of 32-year-old Cher Maximen and 41-year-old tourist Mussie Imnetu. Mussie, if we just speak about him, a celebrated, talented chef who'd worked under Gordon Ramsay, was living in Dubai and he'd been visiting the UK. He was found unconscious on Monday and was taken to hospital. And as I say, he was later found to have died within hospital after receiving that treatment on Friday. We've been hearing from DCI, Brian Howie, who's been leading the investigation into Mussie's death. He is currently searching, and they are currently searching, the Metropolitan Police, desperately to people who may have witnessed what went on, given that Mussie Imnetu, was found unconscious with no understanding of how he came to be in that position. DCI Brian Howie, who is leading that investigation in the Met's Homicide Command, has said Mussie's family, friends and colleagues in London, Dubai and Sweden and Eritrea are inconsolable after receiving the worst news imaginable. Our thoughts are with them, and they are being supported by specialist officers. He goes on to say, our investigation is well advanced, but we are still very keen to hear from anyone who can help piece together Mussie's movements between 1 o'clock in the afternoon, where it's known he left the Arts Club in Dover Street here in West London, and between his movements there and arriving at a restaurant on Queensway, which again is about a mile away from this arts club, at 10:30 in the evening. Officers are desperate to speak to people who may have information relating to Mussie's death. At the same time, they have also been revealing to us and have spoken to the family of 32-year-old Cher Maximen following that news that she too has had her life taken in the most tragic of circumstances. She'd been here visiting with family and friends this carnival, celebrating and dancing away. And it's understood, as police have referenced, and as you say, Simon, that she'd been caught up in an altercation between two groups of people. It's understood that there'd been some kind of fight that had been broken out, and she was trying to intervene in that and help in some way. It's not clear whether she knew those who went on to attack her, but she had been with, as I say, family and friends, and among them her 3-year-old daughter. They'd been celebrating and enjoying this day together when she'd got caught up in the most horrific of circumstances. 32-year-old Cher Maximen, her family, and crucially her 3-year-old daughter are being looked after by specialist officers from also the Metropolitan Police.